What's going on, gamers? There's an episode here with Michael Pachter saying basically he has a plan for Microsoft Tuesday. They got a meeting, and he's going to help them, or apparently help them, try to find a way to do the right thing with Game Pass. Try not to be so greedy. He believes they're being delusional, and the people that are running things do not know what they're doing, and it's not gaming oriented, and it's corpo. And that's why I've been telling people the same thing, like Satya and them taking over. They want to get back that money. A lot of people saying, "Oh, this is 70 billion for Activision." Once again, you're not understanding the picture here. To Nadella, you were going to give me back that money. He didn't just hand them money for no reason, just because he can go make it back. No, no, no. You give him back that money. You better find a way to make it. I think people are missing this whole picture with that. And so I was like, no, it's Microsoft corporations now. And then he figures that out, right? Then he's like, the way things are going, yeah, I don't want nothing to do with this now. We saw that, right? He left out, but still, make me back my money, hire those people. Still wants that money back, trust me. And Pachter's like, well, I have a plan. And they're going to have a meeting Tuesday. And in here, he gets asked, why did Xbox increase the price of Game Pass again? There's some interesting answers in here. Are we ready? Let's see how Michael Pachter can help Xbox. You guys know about Pachter. He's going to ask you to pay him to help. And he's been on Wall Street forever. He was the guy everybody went to. And, sometimes he'll do things for money, but we know Pachter is he's the character. All right, let me know what you guys think about this. Let's get into this. This is going to be a good one.
Today's question from Sifted from JPZ311. With the recent Game Pass price increases, is Microsoft trying to get out of Game Pass and have consumers buy its games at full price again? I don't think so. Could it be trying to get out of the platform business altogether and just become a third-party publisher? Sort of. Why would it increase prices if Game Pass subscriptions are stagnating? Okay, all really good questions. I gotta be fair here. I don't think Microsoft has a handle on what they want to do. So I think Microsoft had plans when they rolled out Game Pass initially that they would grow to 100 million subscribers at whatever their initial price was, called $15. And when that didn't happen, they got pressure from management to be more profitable, so they raised the price to $20. And then growth stalled completely. Then they bought Activision, and they did it again, and they just raised price to $30. I think that the model is Netflix. Charge 10, and when you get to 200 million subscribers, raise price a couple of bucks every year or two. And when you get to 300 million subscribers, that's when you jack up the price. Microsoft's doing it wrong. So the way you
This is good because Microsoft takes him very serious, by the way. That's what I said. He has a call with them Tuesday. Somebody like him, like Michael telling him that, is very good. And that's why I think this episode is one of Pachter's best episodes. Because this is going to get interesting. Let's see what he has to say in that meeting, what's he going to be saying here.
You ask the question, you're spot on. You don't raise price when your customers are shrinking.
Exactly.
Now, it's different if you offer like a luxury product like a Porsche or something, and you sell 50,000 a year. That's just rich people, and they don't care if the car costs 100,000 or 150,000. You're going to sell the same 50,000.
He said, that's what? Who's doing that? Yeah, that's him. I'm telling you, the luxury products. That's what I was trying to tell you. He doesn't want anything to do with anything else. And you got to get him his money back.
Thousand, that you come out with every year. But it doesn't work for Game Pass. $30 is an unsustainable price point. You can say, what about all the people who buy Call of Duty every year? It's $70. So no, you're not paying $360 in order to avoid paying $70. But that includes Xbox Live Gold, which has recently gone to $10 a month, $120 a year. Used to be $5. And I actually think people expect something for that $10 a month. So bottom line is, I think you could probably justify 20 for Game Pass, but if you charge 20 on the console, you'd have to charge 10 on the PC. They just jacked the price on the PC up too.
This episode of Pachter Factor is brought to you by DeShazer Ryan Realty. It's time to find out why everyone is buying homes in Montana. 643 or go to LibbyMontanaRealEstate.com.
So answer is, sorry Microsoft, I know you're watching this and I have a call with them on Tuesday. They don't know what they're doing and they need help, and my call with them Tuesday is to offer them some help.
What has AGM been saying this whole time? Luxury products, everything I said is 100% correct. Now Michael Pachter from Wall Street is coming to tell you the same thing I'm telling you. They don't know what they're doing. They're lost. It's PR. It's corporate greed. Everything I've been saying. Been telling the bots, wake up. You're programmed.
So I have some plans on what they can do better. I'm not going to share them with you here. I'm going to share them with Microsoft when I talk to them. But I have some ideas about how they can kind of figure out how to address the market and get.
I think what he's going to do is try to get them to focus on TV and all this other stuff. This is my hunch, though.
A bigger subscriber base, paying less. And, bottom line is the cost of all the content that they have, forget third-party stuff, the cost of all the first-party content they have is fixed. Okay, it costs whatever, X hundreds of millions or billions a year to pay all those people and run all those studios and create all those Call of Duties and Candy Crushes and Diablos and World of Warcraft. That's fixed. They know what that amount is. So if they add an extra 100 million subscribers, that's pure profit. So if they start thinking about their subscriber base as, we'll make a lot of money if we add an extra 100 million at $10, that's an extra $1 billion. They can afford it if they can have a path to getting to 100 million subscribers. And I've got a plan for them. But the answer to your question is no, they don't want to get out of the Game Pass business. I think that they are genuinely unaware or maybe delusional about whether people are going to quit at this price point, and they are. So I think that they don't see that. I don't think they're doing it to get out of Game Pass and have you buy games at full price again. But truth be told, if you were a Game Pass subscriber at $10 or $20 and you quit at 30, you're going to buy games again. So sure, I do think that they're going to get out of the platform business, but it's going to be very slow. Not next gen. They just
You better make that money back, like I said.
introduced the Rogue, and the Rogue costs more than an Xbox. So it's definitely a super high-end niche product. You're just not going to have that many people willing to spend $1,000 to get an Xbox and then be able to play the games handheld. Like, that's just dumb. So the Rogue is already failed.
That's what I've been telling people, man. They're not listening to me. It's right in front of your face, though. You know what I mean? But you try to damage control it big time. That thing's done. Like, it's going to hit this little spike, and then it's out. Nobody wants to buy that. Overpriced. Garbage. I'm telling you. No.
It's a failure. Forget it. It can't possibly succeed at that price point. But the fact...
Told the truth. See what I'm doing? My man, Michael Pachter, tell them the truth, bro. Wake them up. Because they're over there sleeping.
If they introduced it, they're in the console business. There will be another Xbox. It will not sell well. This one, my guess is, it maybe sold 30 million units, and the next one, my guess 15? Is, will sell 15. But they'll stay in the business one more iteration. And ultimately, I think the solution for them is sell a lot of Game Pass subscriptions. And you're right. Your question is absolutely perfect. At higher prices, they won't sell as many subscriptions as they will at lower prices. So what's the fix? I'm obviously going to explain this to them as well. Ad support. Shane just told me that The Verge reported that Microsoft's doing the ad-supported tier for $5. I can honestly tell you I suggested that to them about 2 months ago, and I'm having a follow-up call with them next week. So emulation is the sincerest form of flattery. I told them to do it, and they're doing it. Yep. I'm not sure they're doing it the right way, but that's okay. I'll work with them to get it right. But yeah, that's the solution. Well. So the $30 tier is a non-starter. The $5 tier is a great introductory tier. You have to give people a place to trade up when they want to turn off ads, and it can't go from 5 to 30. It can go from 5 to 10. And I think that what consumers are missing right now, and Microsoft is probably missing too, is the future is not consoles. The future is connected TV. And I'm talking for single-player games, not for multiplayer. I get the lag. But if you play a game that the entire game is in the cloud and you're playing just single-player, you don't care. That's essentially what mobile games are.
If they can get that to work very well and it functions very good without that, yeah, I mean, that's cool. We need some work for that, but yeah, I mean, that's the thing I said, cloud, compute, digital stream. Yeah, that Microsoft can do that. Hardware, I mean, just because they have money. Other than that, yeah, you just would have been a worse Sega.
You're fine. You don't need synchronous multiplayer. You need single player and have fun with the game. You can do that on a $10 a month subscription, no special equipment required. And that's where I think Microsoft's going to head. So the answer is, if they don't fix it, they're doomed.
Pretty much.
Game Pass is doomed. If the Verge reporting is right that Microsoft's going to do a $5 ad-supported tier, they have a chance. I think putting restrictions on the tier, like limiting the number of hours you can play, is stupid. If people are paying you, let them play. Who gives a shit? There aren't that many people who are going to play 24/7. It's like having a buffet and saying you can only, stand in front of each course for like 1 second. You better grab one roll and move. You can't. Don't limit what people put on their plate. I don't think Microsoft.
Exactly. Pachter this is a really good video by Pachter. It's one of his best ones I've seen recently.
Is going to go away. I do think consoles are going to go away. It'll take another full generation before they give up on that. I do think Game Pass is too high priced, and they're not going to get any new subscribers unless they do a lower price option. I do think The Verge's reporting is probably correct, that there's a $5 ad-supported tier, and I didn't see that this morning, so thank you, Shane. But, I think there's a lot more work to do. The easy answer to why raise the price is that they're getting profit pressure from corporate, that they're being told you're not making enough money on Game Pass. And, again.
What happened? What did you say? Uh-huh. Yeah. Eyes open. Being pressured by corporate profits. Being pressured for corporate profits. Make that money back. Like I said, you better give me back that money. I've had people come to my channel, oh, no, the Activision is 69, but yeah, shut up. You don't know what you're talking about. You don't know how business works. Just regurgitating parrot nonsense.
And that's a scale thing.
Let the bright mind speak.
My guess is that just because of the loss of sales,
they can help, not glaze.
First-party titles that they allow for day and date,
professional.
They're probably pushing along at a very small profit, even at $20. Mm-hmm. So they go to 30, and then they can say, "Who cares if somebody doesn't buy a game? We're making 6 times or 5 times the cost of the game or the price of the game." And I think their math is we'll make more money. They might, but on fewer subscribers. So that 34 million number is going to drop to 20. Probably drop to 15.
That's not good.
And if it does, they're going to find out that was a real mistake. Now, obviously, the 15 are only the people who bought Call of Duty, but they'll still sell another 10, to other people. Bottom line is, I think that they made a mistake. I think they're trying to make up the lack of profit by raising price. And price, the price and volume. Like the higher the price, the lower the volume. People are not going to sign up for this thing. Imagine if McDonald's, said we don't make enough money selling a Big Mac at $4, so we're going to raise the price to $8. They would sell 0. There's some things you just cannot justify. This thing we're going to see. I think this is going to backfire on them, and I think they're going to see subscribers drop a lot. But that's why that Verge report resonates, that they're going to replace it with a $5 tier.
Simple stuff, just facing the truth, being critical about what's wrong, and getting it to do better. That's what intelligent people do.
And then they're going to report, we have 40 million
professional feedback.
They're all paying us $5.
What can I do to be better? I'm not perfect. I'm
and
not
the
God.
$30 tier drives you into the $5 ad support, but you've got to give people an alternative who don't want to watch ads. You got to give them an alternative to $5 with ad support. None of these guys understand, the consumer interface. Microsoft made a mistake at the $30 price point. It's going to bite them in the ass. They're making a smart move on the $5 ad-supported tier. That'll end up helping them. So put them all together and let's see where they end up. They'll end up hiring me to counsel them on what to do. And again, I think I can help them. And they're very interested. So in fairness to them, they know they need help, and I think they need a third party to tell their management, you're being stupid, trying to make too much money and squeeze blood from a turnip is the old saying. You're being too greedy, charging 30. You need to tier the pricing accordingly so that it makes.
Yes, you coming from Washington, Pachter, is the best thing you could have done, because this is the only way to help somebody. I'm loving this, man. He's speaking the truth here.
Makes sense for each person at each price point. Thank you to our Patreon patrons and our.
So yeah, guys, this meeting that they're going to have this Tuesday is going to be very interesting. Maybe one day we'll know Pachter's full plan down the line. If it can help them do better, why would that be bad? You see what I mean? Did you see me going against that? No. Like, oh, no, don't help them. This is Xbox is fade away. You know what I mean? No, if there's a chance that they could get better, why not take that opportunity? But over here, like I said, we're all about speaking the truth and getting to problems and seeing how to solve them, seeing things that are not good and calling them out and saying, you can do better. Let's find a way to get things going better. Not just sitting there being complacent, taking it, like I said, and then thinking everything's okay. Yeah, you're not that smart then. I can't take you serious. Not going to be able to help anything. You're just going to glaze and just be brainwashed like a zombie. All right. So yeah, let me know what you guys think about this. Like I said, this is going to be very interesting. I'm going to keep my eyes open on this. Later, y'all. Peace out. Hang in there.